Homeowners throughout Lucas County still want answers after seeing huge increases in their property values. A third party is coming in to review the process, what that third party plans to do next. Voters turned down 3 straight levies. Perrysburg Schools floating options for its elementary buildings. The impact this will have for hundreds of students. Chris?
Dan, we've got a wintry storm into the area as we get into the weekend. It's not going to be the biggest of storms, a level 2 out of 5 impact, but it will bring some snow, some sleet, some freezing rain, and some icy travel. I'll have the hour-by-hour breakdown of what to expect. That'll be coming up in my full 10-day forecast. Dan, back over to you.
Welcome into WTOL 11 News on Plus. I'm Dan Cummins. Thanks for joining us as we kick off the weekend. Now let's take a look at our top stories of the day. New tonight, Lucas County Auditor Katie Moline working to finalize a contract with a third party to review the 2024 property revaluations. Megan Hartnett breaks down the latest updates in the investigation.
Conducting mass appraisals is nothing new for John Clemenshaw.
In fact, my family pioneered mass appraisal in the United States. We do work in 22 counties in the state of Ohio.
Clemenshaw has even done work with Lucas County before, but this is the first time he's ever dealt with a county that has had a programming error like the one identified here in the fall. That programming error left more than 1,400 homes with overinflated property values. Clemenshaw's goal is to analyze specifically the 2024 revaluation process as a whole, not individual properties.
Principally, we are looking to determine the quality, overall quality, and you can say, what does that mean? Was equity achieved? Were all taxpayers treated equally? And that's normally determined through statistical analysis.
Once his report is done, it will be made public, according to Auditor Katie Moline.
One of the other key things that I am looking to provide to the county is best practices, some recommendations for determining or going about the process of future reappraisals.
Former Lucas County Auditor Anita Lopez is being called into question for undervaluing property values by State Representative Josh Williams. Although this is not the focus of the third-party review, Clemenshaw says it could be possible his review will show that homes may have been undervalued. Moline says hopefully this independent review can bring clarity to why the county saw dramatic increases in property values.
We are seeing dramatic increases, and so people want to know, is that just because of the net, are we in line with the rest of Ohio counties, or was there something specific that happened?
And be sure to tune in this Sunday morning at 8:30. Lucas County Auditor Katie Moline will be a guest on Leading Edge. Jeff Smith discussing the revaluation issues with Moline, the investigation that State Representative Josh Williams has called for, and with the blame game underway, her relationship with former Lucas County Auditor and now Commissioner Anita Lopez. Once again, Leading Edge, that's Sunday at 8:30 right here on WTOL 11+. A man who was being held in the Lucas County Jail has died. According to the Lucas County Sheriff's Office, 71-year-old James Hessling became ill while in custody at the jail. EMS was called. He was taken to the hospital where he later died. The cause of his death is unknown. The Sheriff's Office said Hessling was arrested by Oregon police on a fugitive warrant out of Monroe, Michigan last month. Now, earlier this week, we reported on a fight that happened in front of Fremont Middle School. Now we're hearing from the guardian of one of the kids involved in that fight and why she's concerned about how the school handled it. Ryan Lucene has details.
Initially, I was just shell-shocked overall. Like, my first thing was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this happened.
On January 30th, around 9 a.m., Cammie Henson got a call that her child had been in a fight. Stemming from drama that started between hers and another student, it suddenly became a 2-on-1 situation, with even more kids getting involved, with videos quickly spreading online.
Each time I watched a new video, there were new angles and you could see more going on in the background. Each time I watched it, I just was like, why is nobody stopping this?
Henson says she was notified of the fight 2 hours later, after the school questioned bystanders and those involved. And the school nurse checked their injuries, with Cammie's child only suffering from cuts and bruises. But that didn't ease her concerns.
And there were multiple students in one of the videos asking, where are the teachers? Like, why aren't they fighting one-on-one?
The district previously told WTOL in a statement that teachers are advised not to get in the middle of a fight. Police reports said that an adult was able to break up the fight, but that was about 5 minutes after it started. As the fight happened during bus drop-off, kids weren't allowed in the building yet. leaving plenty of time for incidents like this to happen.
I understand there is an explanation for everything that happened, but there's holes in everything that happened. If these children are being dropped off and not supervised by somebody who can intervene when necessary, they're basically left to fend for themselves.
Henson hopes the school and administration see this incident as a way to grow. She hopes they add extra adult supervision, even on a volunteer basis.
At a certain point, everybody has a choice to make. Do you sit back and let the kids do what they do because you don't want to get hurt and it's not within your pay grade to jump in? As a parent, I can't imagine, be it my kid or not, just letting kids pulverize each other.
Perrysburg Schools planning a big change to help save some money. District board members are looking into redrawing boundary lines for this District 4 elementary schools. Woodland and Fort Meigs would see dramatic drops in students. Frank and Toth would see their schools grow, possibly over capacity. We spoke to one parent today who is worried about how students will react to changing schools unexpectedly.
This can be very, very, very challenging and will be very challenging for mental health as a whole, especially in the grief field. I think it will very, very, very much impact the children.
These changes still have to be approved by the Board of Education. That vote expected to happen at the board's next meeting February 18th. If approved, the changes will take effect in the 25-26 school year. Chris?
All right, Dan, a few things we're going to be watching as we roll into the upcoming weekend. We've got our alert day out there on Saturday through the afternoon hours, so let's talk the timing of it. Should be after 3 p.m. And then we get that icy mix into the area. Could be in the form of snow, sleet, and freezing rain, all creating some hazardous travel. And that is going to be the biggest impact, travel impacts, late Saturday, especially as we go through and after dark. Now, we're below freezing tonight, dip it back to the upper 20s and mid-20s now. And we'll stay below freezing through tomorrow morning as that storm system does arrive into the area through the afternoon. Let's look at it hour by hour. This is the most powerful tool we're going to show you tonight, highlighting the timing of that wintry mix. You're going to wake up tomorrow morning still looking at dry conditions. Saturday morning, I have no issues if you got to run errands, head to the grocery store, you got sporting events, no issues with travel Saturday morning. We're going to get you through lunchtime till about 3 p.m. before that icy mix rolls into the area. And here's the clock. Wintry mix Saturday afternoon and evening, and it's going to be in the form of snow, sleet, freezing rain in that order from north to south. So it will get icy across the area continuing through Saturday evening. Here's the clock right around sundown time. More likely, again, we get snow. Northern Ohio, extreme northern Ohio up into southern Michigan, and a mix of ice and sleet for the rest of the area. It's going to create some very slippery travel as we go into Saturday evening. Not going to be the biggest of storms. I'll be honest about that, but it will bring some impact to travel. So I'll rate this a level 2 out of 5. You know, we've had bigger winter storms into the area, but that wintry mix is going to be likely from 3 to 10 p.m. Snow, sleet, and freezing rain, and the greatest threat of ice is going to be possible south. So if I sum it up like this, the lighter pink color south of Toledo is mainly freezing rain. The purple is sleet and ice, and then snow going to be a little more likely, especially up across southern Michigan. Begs the question, what's the difference between freezing rain and sleet? Well, I'll answer that in terms of donuts. Think of a glazed donut. That glaze on the donut is freezing rain. Instantly, that ice sticks to all surfaces. And if we're talking sleets, it's more like crunchy sprinkles on top of a donut. They're not quite as slippery, but both of them are wintry precipitation that you do need to be aware of. We are going to be dry early tomorrow. It's going to be through the afternoon that we see that sleet and freezing rain and snow back into the area. So it is an alert day Saturday afternoon and into Saturday evening. Right around 30 degrees for the high, 32 on Sundays. We dry out close to 30 into Monday. And then next week, we've got another alert day. Snow looking more likely Wednesday into Thursday. Dan could bring some accumulations back into the area. Over to you.
Chris, thank you. A new program to improve school kids' reading is soon coming to the state. As a part of Governor Mike DeWine's budget plan, it ensures students who fail vision screenings in kindergarten through 3rd grade get eye exams and glasses. Our Silver Barker brings details.
At Washington Local Schools, curriculum consultant Molly Chamberlain says the district uses a comprehensive phonics program for students from kindergarten through 2nd grade. But some extra help from the state wouldn't hurt.
Nationwide, the data shows that 1 in 4 children have a vision problem. So we have all these children coming to school that right off the bat have this piece that is putting them at a disadvantage.
An issue that the state of Ohio is looking to tackle with its vision services program, Ohio See. The program would make sure students in grades K through 3 get comprehensive eye exams and glasses if they're failing vision screenings.
With this new program from the governor, the education system is now going to take on the job of getting the child whatever services they need, whether it be glasses or some other kind of visual assistant.
Chamberlain says vision issues can have a domino effect.
I almost think of it as like an inverted pyramid. So up here at the top are the vision problems where they're not seeing the board, they're not tracking well if they're reading a text that's right in front of them, they're not fluent.
Problems, she says, can lead to frustration or confusion with a child who may not be old enough to recognize a vision issue, wondering why they're struggling. The program would aim to serve 33,000 kids. Optometrist Dr. Kyle Brody says while vision screenings and glasses will help with eyesight, this program should include therapies that focus on things such as motor, visual, and auditory skills.
So we do a lot of occupational therapy, we do a lot of vision therapy, and we do some auditory therapy to help those kids process that better. And that is what helps their reading ability. And that goes into more of the vision that I was telling you about rather than the eyesight.
Toledo City Council passed its 2025 budget plan with no mention of a sidewalk repair program. However, we're learning from the city this does not mean sidewalks won't be repaired at all. According to a city spokesperson, this year the city will continue its research with 2 pilot sidewalk projects. The city will also complete sidewalk repairs in coordination with road reconstruction projects. The city will repair more than 149,000 square feet of sidewalks along residential and major roads and put in new sidewalks where none currently exist. If your drive takes you into Oregon often, listen up. If you're trying to get off I-280 at the Oregon exit, you'll not be able to turn left onto Navarre. Take a look at the map. According to the city, all eastbound lanes over the bridge will be closed beginning Wednesday, February 12th. The city says Columbia Gas will be working on repairing a gas line there. The closure expected to last till the end of March. The city is planning for several detours to avoid backups on I-280. We have those listed on our website. The first Friday in February marks National Wear Red Day, a day to raise awareness about the leading cause of death for women in the U.S. CBS has one woman's story of survival and what she wants others to know about heart disease.
Robin Eaton wants women to trust their gut when it comes to their heart.
I started having intense pain in my chest. My arms were tingly and my back hurt.
In November 2023, the 46-year-old called 911. Responding paramedics said her vitals and EKG were normal and she wasn't having a heart attack, so she didn't go to the hospital. Later, the pain got more intense and she headed to the emergency room.
It was very, very scary because all of a sudden, the room is just filled with doctors and nurses.
While a typical heart attack is caused by heavy plaque buildup in the arteries, Robin experienced a less common type that disproportionately affects women, spontaneous coronary artery dissection, or SCAD.
It's actually bleeding inside the artery wall, sort of like a bruise inside the artery. And that bruise can get so big that it blocks blood flow. When the heart is not getting enough blood flow, there can be damage.
Dr. Harmony Reynolds at NYU Langone Health wants other women to follow Robin's example.
When there's chest discomfort or another symptom that you think might be heart attack, and it's going on for 10 or 15 minutes or more, we need to call 911 and get to a hospital.
I just run a 5K the week before. I was the healthiest I've been in years.
Tests showed Robin has a condition that increases her risk for SCAD, and she was treated with medication and cardiac rehab.
Had I just listened to the paramedics, my kids would have come home and I would not have been here today.
You know your body best.
She's sharing her story as part of the American Heart Association's